So now, which company you should choose? In my opinion, there are three big companies which you can look into it. Number one, which I personally like, and by the way, none of these companies have sponsored this video, but the one I like is Openor. The second one is Apollo, and the third one is Vega. Google them, search them, do your research and see which one works for you price wise and stuff, but all are good. I like Openor for a fact because I've been using it for so long. I really have find peace of mind when I use them. Generally, I use 2 or 3 contractors who know what they're doing. You want to make sure that whoever you hire, it's a little bigger company, not a smaller guy, because end of the day you are investing so much in your house, and you want to make sure that if there is any problem, they can come back and give you the service needed. Yeah, very important. And the other important part here is that you want to make sure that particular company is certified by Openor or by the manufacturer. What that means is that the manufacturer takes them through a training process. They sell them and tell them to use which equipment has to be used, so the right installation is done. So you want to make sure that you use a certified professional. They can provide you the certificate for that particular company or those people, whoever is working in your house. So you want to make sure that is done. And also when you are negotiating on your contract with a plumbing company, let's say you have decided on a company, now they come in your house, few things to keep in mind. Number one, you want to make sure their house is fully, all the plumbing is fully changed. It sounds they're going to do it, but I'm going to tell you what happens. Let's say you have a plumbing line which is going to your faucet. Below the faucet, you will have 4 or 5 inches of copper line. Most of the company, because they don't have to go all the way up, they try to cut the old copper line 5 or 7 inches down, and then they install their PEX line. You want to make sure there is no copper line whatsoever. Everything is PEX throughout. And if a time comes you have to change the faucet, that's perfectly fine. You can tell them to remove everything so that the PEX is through and through is PEX and new lines. That way you have no problems with the copper line leaking or you having a pinhole again. Yeah, very important. The second thing is that you want to make sure that when they are giving you a quote, you want to make sure that they do PEX lining throughout the pressurized line and unpressurized line. What that means is, all the lines has got water, but there are certain lines in the house which doesn't have any water or doesn't have any pressure of water. They might have little water but less pressure. Yeah, essentially what that means is, and I'm going to give an example of a unpressurized line. Unpressurized line is from your faucet to your shower. When you turn on your shower, the water goes up, but once you turn it off, there is no pressure between that line and the shower. Most of the plumbing companies would say they would not be changing. There would be a fine print in there that they would not be changing any unpressurized line. You want to make sure that line is changed too, because even if it doesn't have a pressure, it still has water, and water tends to give oxidation on copper, which tends to give a pinhole eventually. There would be if you have a copper line throughout the house, the chances of having a pinhole in a pressure line is higher than the unpressurized line, but that doesn't mitigate that. So you want to make sure that line is changed too. The third thing you want to make sure is that who is going to patch and paint. Most of the plumbing companies would not paint, just because after patching the wall, if they paint with the new paint, even if they have the same number, the RGB numbers and stuff to paint the house, still it doesn't match most of the time. Then they get in trouble of painting the whole wall and stuff. So most of the good plumbing companies will stay away from painting. However, they will patch it, but sometimes they try to overcharge on patching, seeing when they see the customer, they can decide, okay, they can charge more or less. So still get the quote from them, and eventually we'll get it off, because we plan to paint the house. If you plan to paint the house, we can give all that work to our painter. But call me if you have any questions. This particular video was much easier for me because I've done it so many times. I feel that I'm a PhD in repiping the house, because I've done it, I've seen it, and I've brought this up to so many of my clients. And so I feel that I think I can do justice to this particular video. But if you have any questions, or you want to get a recommendation for a plumbing company or a certified plumbing company for PEX piping, do call me. Would love to help you. I'm looking forward for your response, and if you like what you see, please share this video with your friends and do subscribe. Thank you very much.